Well, today I'm here to talk about the misleading ads that you're going to see and that you have seen in the past during campaigns. There's a lot of that going on. You know, long gone are the days when you'd get the Bob La Follette on the back of a train or the Harry Truman on the back of a train that would be doing the whistle stop campaign, and people were able to really hear from the candidate themselves in the flesh and blood, and then they kept on moving from town to town and were able to answer questions and make their views known to people. Instead, now you got to get it through the mail, in TV ads and radio ads, and not from the candidate themselves, from outside expenditures, we call them. Outside groups who are trying to buy our government. And why do they want to do that? But it's because they get something out of it. You need to be always thinking about that. What are they getting out of that? Now, for instance, in 2012, if you may recall, they bombarded the 93rd Assembly District with ads about me that were very misleading. They suggested that I had taken money away from the veterans and I had turned around and given money to illegal aliens or illegal immigrants for tuition. Then, in fact, what happened was in 2009 budget, which I voted for, because, by the way, that's the most important thing a legislator can do during a session, is to make sure you vote for a balanced budget so that the state can do its job. Well, in that budget were two provisions. One that suggested that veterans make sure that they use their federal GI Bill benefits before they use their state GI Bill benefits. Thus way the state would be able to hold that money and continue to use that money in ways that benefit all of the state of Wisconsin, and use those federal monies first. The second part was that in that budget we made sure to guarantee that every student who graduated from Wisconsin high school had the option of in-state tuition if they go to an in-state school. We want our students to stay here. We want them to get the benefit of a good education in Wisconsin, and then take advantage of that as they build and grow our next economy in Wisconsin. Those are two logical and smart things. And the most memorable moment was when a veteran actually called me on the phone and demanded to know why I did these things to them according to the ads. And when I explained to him what I just explained to you, he said to me, "Sir, that's why I fought." And that just about brought tears to my eyes. I thought that was very telling about why we need to be reconsidering what we're hearing and seeing in ads, where they're coming from, how is it affecting elections. Money is what it's all about, and it's not about you and me. That is why back in the 1800s and 1890s, there was what I mentioned before, Bob La Follette, rose to fame, going on a whistle-stop campaign behind wagons and behind railroad cars, demanding that people stand up against the robber barons of the time. And coincidentally, it was the rail car owners who were the robber barons back then. We now have robber barons trying to do the same thing here. And I demand that you make sure you do all the right things to make sure you're casting votes not in favor of what they're telling you in those ads, but in favor of what your values are. So I recommend that you try to do like I do. Start with being irked. And what I mean by that is ignore, research, call, and demand. Ignore and throw away those mailers that you get in the mail. I think most of you do that already. Research them. Research what they're saying through Snopes or Google it and find out what the truth really is. I want you to call the person that's being slandered, whether it be me or someone else. Call them and find out what they have to say about that. And then demand that all sides are heard. So as I'm irked about this stuff. Why am I irked about this stuff? Because our government is disappearing as we know it. It is the big money, it is the robber barons who are taking it away. And I demand that we hear all sides, and I demand that everyone do their right duties when they're going to vote, and make sure you know what you're voting for, and make sure you know who the candidates are. I know it's not easy, And that's all part of what they try to do, is to confuse you. I'm here to tell you who I am, what I'm about, and what the state of Wisconsin should be about. We want the days of Bob the Follett back. We want to be on the back of a train in front of people, letting them know what we stand for. We want people to be able to hear the truth. We want people to be able to hear the passions that we share with each of you. I'm not here to make a career out of politics. I'm here to make a career for my children and grandchildren, and love this state and the environment that it has here. We have had a great state up to this point. Let's not throw it away. Let's not let the robber barons take it over.